I feel legitimately sick this morning, knowing that in the dark of the night, they just cut millions of Americans' health care. $500 billion in cuts. And they'll claim that it's all waste and fraud. That's bullshit. Show me where it's all waste and fraud. And then they'll say, well, I don't want to pay for other people's health care. God forbid we take care of our neighbors, right? God forbid. It's socialism. God forbid we take care of our neighbors. Like, I'm cool with paying my tax dollars to go towards someone that is living in my neighborhood's healthcare versus bombing a foreign country.
Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by, supporting your girl on this channel. So credits goes to the creators in those videos. So guys, in today's video,
and $900 billion gutted from Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know a single person who this wouldn't affect. My own kids are on Medicaid. My grandmother is on Medicare and Social Security. My wife's grandmother is on Social Security. Not to mention the fact that we paid into that. That's our money. How dare you touch it? Also, you can make the richest 1% that much more rich. Also, you can support tax cuts for these people that don't pay taxes in the first place. Amazon has been reporting record profits for years, but because of complicated accounting bullshit, they haven't paid a dime in taxes. This is what you voted for. This is what you voted for. We told you. We told you. We told you you were shooting yourself in the foot. We told you you were voting for the Lions. And now that they're eating your face, now you want to be upset. We said this would happen. Hell, they said this would happen. With their Project 2025. They said it would happen. They said this is what we want to do. They said it. They fucking said it. And you excused it, and you ignored it, and they said they're not going to touch Medicaid, and they're not going to touch Medicare, and they're not going to touch Social Security, and we told you they were lying. We told you they were lying. We told you they were lying through their fucking teeth. And guess what? We were right. Again! And you know what the really crazy part about all this is? Is this budget bill won't take effect until after Fearless Leader isn't in office anymore, if that happens, by the way. But it won't take effect until then. And your ignorant dumbasses are going to blame whoever the president is at that point. Just like you all said, oh, well, I just don't like the way the economy is, and I just don't like the way I'm voting for Trump because I don't like how the taxes are right now. It's been Trump's tax plan the whole time. Part of this bill extends that tax plan. That's his tax plan. And you don't think they do this on purpose because you're not dumb. You're not bright enough to fucking see it. But I'm the fucking crazy one. We, those of us that see it and scream it from the rooftops and try so hard to show you the truth that is glaring right in front of you that you refuse to see. And now we're here. Now we're here in a position where I work 80 hours a week, if not more, to make sure that my kids and my wife are taken care of, and the systems that are in place that allow me to do that and help me do that are in jeopardy because fucking Trump good. I don't have words. Not really, because none of the people that need to listen to this are going to. They never have, and they never will. They're so ignorant and wrapped up in their own garbage that they can't see what's right in front of their faces. And all I can do is sit back and ask myself.
Courts have ruled that Trump's tariffs are not okay. And they just wiped out months of negotiations and progress that he made. Reciprocal tariffs, okay? just charging the countries what they charge the American taxpayer. Just reciprocal. And the Democrats, 12 Democratic states, and the biggest corporations in America that you and I made filthy rich came together. Coca-Cola, Apple, Amazon, Walmart, Target, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson. It goes on and on. They came together to stop the tariffs. And they did. They won. So not only are tariffs not allowed right now, but we have to return every single dollar, every penny that we earned from it. Ain't that something? First, the Democrats ran around and went to other countries for the illegal criminal element, wife beater guy. They went to El Salvador to check on him, make sure he's okay. Stopped all deportations from all of the illegal immigration and the criminal element that came into our country. Unchecked, unverified, undocumented, with criminal backgrounds. Can't deport them either. So every single thing that the vast majority of Americans want and believed in, every element of our government except one guy is doing everything in their power to stop it and to keep the status quo, because they don't work for you and I. They work for their donors, the big corporations, their lobbyists, and the cartels. And they just want our money. They just need our money. And the illusion that we, the people, are in control. I'm disgusted. I'm sick to my stomach because there's no way out.
Well, it sure is good to be back home. Yesterday, I took an Uber ride back to the airport, and I met a young man, a family man with 2 children, who was driving an Uber. Why? Because his trucking business didn't have any more work because of the tariffs imposed by Trump. And he says all independent truckers right now are out of work and basically driving Ubers in order to survive and support their families. And he was an interpreter for the United States Army here from Afghanistan, got a green card. He said he got it very quickly, but he can't go home and visit his mom in Afghanistan anymore because he might be subject to arrest and deportation under the nonsensical Trump policies. But in a way, he's one of the lucky ones. I mean, so many stories. Say we have a mother who's taken away from her newborn after giving birth in a hospital. We have a restaurant in beautiful little Italy in San Diego where stormtroopers basically come in and disrupt Friday night dinners of patrons by arresting people while they're working. We have people working in Florida, 100 workers who are doing construction work who get rounded up and arrested. We see children in zip ties, mothers taken away over and over again. If you follow this stuff on social media, it is a tale of human suffering, people who are going through the legal process, showing up in court. And what about Job Corps? Thousands of economically disadvantaged children, many of them foster children, many individuals, young adults who don't have a home to go to. Job Corps, the programs ended. They thought that they had a job. They thought they were going to be able to work this summer, get the training to be able to succeed in life, and now that money is taken away. Meanwhile, Elon Musk getting billions and billions of dollars in contracts for his company for armored Tesla vehicles and Earthlink and things like that in order to basically profit off the government because he donated to the person who won the presidency, supposedly, allegedly, and is now reaping the benefits. That is corruption. The bribery that is going on within this administration, while people at the bottom suffer. Again, if you support this guy, how much better is your life as a result of this presidency? And how much more human suffering are you willing to impose on others in order to...
If you haven't heard, a federal trade court has issued a permanent injunction against Donald Trump's tariffs. What does that mean? That means that Donald Trump does not have the authority to issue tariffs. That is a Congress assignment. It should be done by Congress. So Trump has overstepped his boundaries, surprise, surprise, once again. And he is no longer allowed to assign tariffs to any country at all. it's over. Unless, of course, he defies the court's ruling and continues to do it anyway, which is against the law. So, we'll see what happens. He can also appeal, and he can also take it to the Supreme Court. However, the Supreme Court, whenever there's a permanent ruling issued by a lower court, federal court, the Supreme Court tends to side with that court. So, but it is a Trump Supreme Court. So we'll see. We will see if he abides by the ruling. But it is over. He can't tariff a thing. Surprise, surprise.
Imposing a 25% increase. We're going to bring it from 25% to 50%, the tariffs on steel into the United States of America, which will even further secure the steel industry in the United States. Nobody's going to get around that.
So this is much worse than you may think. He's not doing it just to steel, he's doing it to steel and aluminum. Canada produces nearly 13 million tons of steel annually. It exports 90% of that steel to the US. It also puts Donald Trump in a very tough scenario because he's going to cause inflation, since nearly 1/4 of all the steel that gets imported into the US comes from Canada. Now, the place that's going to be hit the hardest, it's going to be Hamilton, and it's going to hurt Stelco and other steel companies significantly. Aluminum is just as bad. Canada produces about 3.3 million tons a year. Of that, the steel that the US imports from Canada, they get more than half of it from us. In fact, nearly 90% of Canada's aluminum exports go to the US. And the place that's going to get hit the hardest, it's going to be Quebec. Now, the UK was hit with tariffs after Canada. Canada and Mexico were the first to be hit with them. But the UK was able to secure a deal with the United States and create a scenario where both parties were happy. Canada has yet to negotiate anything. And this is now becoming an issue of the utmost importance, which needs to be dealt with immediately. Mark Carney has not addressed this at all. He has not addressed it head on, and he needs to start actually dealing with it and negotiating a deal directly with Trump's administration. Because this would result in nearly 150,000 jobs that would be affected. Nearly 40,000 directly in those industries, steel and aluminum, and there's over 100,000 indirectly that get affected.
FedEx that my husband flagged for me because I was not expecting a bill from FedEx for anything. And it is for $180.13. What is this from? It is from a customs duty, aka a tariff fee that I am paying on a birthday present that I got for my daughter, who happened to want a clothing item that was from a company that's based in Hong Kong. And this was an invoice from May 15th, 2025.
So here's the entry date, and the duty is, that you can see, customs duty is $180.13.
The clothing item, I believe, cost around $99. Prior to the executive order instituting tariffs on de minimis items, this may have been something that wouldn't have been subject to such a duty, but it is twice the amount that the clothing item cost in tariffs that I received very unexpectedly in the mail. This is the kind of chaos and uncertainty we have come to expect from this Republican administration, being supported by the Republican administration here in Georgia. And certainly I would do everything in my power to buffer our Georgia citizens from the impact of chaotic.
Been effectively blocked by a special federal court. And I just ordered a bunch of stuff off of Shein. And I cannot be more excited. So we no longer have to deal with that little slip that's going to tell us that we owe that extra tariff because it was blocked.
For the tariffs, and I actually feel like that's really criminal. I ordered from Sample Sale 260, according to this invoice here, on April 17th. I ordered a few poster girl jumpsuits, very cute, very cunt. Look at the price. The price is $80. That is the price that was displayed on Sample Sale's website as well. I received the items May 2nd. Cool, I get them, nothing's wrong with them. And then after that, I left to go to my mother's house. She's very sick, I had to go help her. I've been gone for a month. I get back to my own apartment and I see a letter waiting for me from FedEx, and that's weird. Why is FedEx mailing me something? Niggas want $100 from me. $100 from me, and this letter is dated May 12th. Which means what? I probably received it in the mail sometime between May 15th and May 20th. And this is very frustrating and annoying because if y'all had that on the website, hey, we're gonna charge you $100 extra, I would not have bought the shit. Let's keep it a bean and let's keep it a buck. I would not have bought it. It's very frustrating because I love Poster Girl. I love all these foreign brands, etc. I don't know how much it is their responsibility to list the tariff price on their website, especially considering that this is not technically their problem. But I feel like if you have an American audience and you have an American presence and you even have a USD listed website, you have to help us understand what's going on here. Anyways, this is the man that y'all voted for. This is what y'all did. This is what you wanted, right? Here it is. The economy is so much better.
Like, oh, I like ordered something from Shein or Temu and it got here, and then I got like this FedEx invoice for the tariffs, bitch, the tariffs. Did they also send you your item? Because maybe I'm problematic, but the way that I just would not pay that shit, like, thank you for the piece of paper that I'm gonna put in the trash. Like, what, an invoice for tariffs? Girl, bye. I'm not paying for this shit. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Truly.
Well, that's true, but is it not just better to pay it? Because I mean, what is done already. Instead of just accumulating maybe hidden charges the more or whatever it is that might happen if you don't pay it. Because all this tariff thing is just to prevent purchase from outside the United States, for, just to encourage local purchases, right? But I mean, to an extent, it still doesn't make any sense. So what you can do is just that ask before you order for that item outside. Just ask if the duties are included in the price so that you don't end up getting another hidden charge in your meal, right? And you can keep, for example, if you order, you can keep all the receipts or the shipment trackings in case you need to dispute a customs charge, right? And guys, be cautious of unusually cheap items, especially from foreign sellers. I mean, some of them use all these extremely cheap items to attract customers, and at the end of the day, there might be an hidden charge, right? Especially this period. So before you purchase the item, just make sure you clarify everything concerning it so you don't end up paying more than the actual item purchased. Guys, let me know if you found value in this video. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video, and please stay safe. Mental health is important. Ciao.